Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave. Sometimes we give importance to the material world. Sometimes we give importance to the good or bad experiences that we go through. Sometimes we give importance to the I who is going through good and bad experiences. Depending upon these three areas of importance that we give in our life, the quality of our life differs. Initially, we give importance to the worldly things. Then our whole life is spent only in accumulating the things, searching for new things. And that becomes the mainstay of our lifestyle. This is how the fashion world works. Sometimes they will be having the tight pants or whatever they call. Sometimes it will be loose. Now the legs are the same all the time. So what else can you do? Make it tight, make it loose. Make it tight, make it loose. And that is considered as the most prosperous lifestyle. Sometimes they'll be having so loose things that the whole road is swept by their movement. Sometimes it is so tight that they can't sit down, because if they sit, it opens up. Whole life is spent only on this. They are far away from the truth. After having gone through that lifestyle, like there is a saying in the Hindi, "Sau chuhe khakar billi haj chali." After having eaten 100 rats, the cat thought, "I have not done something good. So let us go to holy pilgrimage to Hajj and wash away these sins." So after having lived that kind of life, then the next step is we want to correct it. And the correction factor is then we want to get into the spirituality, which we do not understand even 1%. Then we start going to the temples, do puja, go to Babaji's and tie down this thing, some kind of thread here, some kind of thread around the neck. The best way is hang yourself on the problems which is. And then in that also we get lost. Whether Devi or Dev, whether Shivji or Hanumanji. But can Hanumanji's puja be done by the ladies? All kinds of doubts, questions. And then their life becomes more and more complicated. Then from there we have to graduate and come to who is getting disturbed. Find it out. Rather than I get disturbed. Find out who is disturbed. And when this inquiry sets in, then we have stepped on the spiritual path. Till then, we were only struggling the violence of life. Therefore, when we come to this stage about our identity, so we will come to know our identity is determined three ways. First identity is with reference to the gross world. I am man, I am woman, I am rich, I am poor. This is the first identity. The second identity is I am mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife. I got duties, I had to do this, I had to do that. Thereafter, the third identity comes. How long I am going to do the same useless things? Enough is enough. And friends, this happens. You don't have to do anything. Don't force yourself. Like there is one Amma in Bombay. One day she came. She said, Swamiji, please help me. So I kept quiet. She said, earlier she belongs to Pushti Marga. So earlier I used to spend a lot of time in doing puja, doing japa, and preparing the food for the Lord, give the Vedya. But these days I am doing it not out of joy as I used to do earlier. Now it is a mechanically doing, and I myself know that I am not doing right. But I can't change what to do. I have no interest in that. I said, now what is your interest? My interest is, who is this God? Who is Krishna? Whose puja I am doing? Who is Shiva? Whose puja I am doing? When I am chanting the mantra Om Namah Shivaya, is he hearing or not? That is disturbing. I said that disturbance is a healthy sign. Karma in the material world, if it leads to freedom from likes and dislikes, it is a spiritual practice. If karma, it leads to acquisition, loss, gain, success, failure, that is the criteria, then it is samsara. Karma is the same. Then upasana. Upasana is outside. Devotion is inside. We mistake upasana for devotion. Devotion is dependent on the things outside. And upasana is dependent on the things outside. And devotion happens as a result of upasana. And when this devotion happens, then the inquiry kindles. Who is this God? And when this happens, we don't have to drop all what you have been. You continue. What for continue? Only for time pass. See, if you are going for a morning walk, continue. If you are doing puja poti, continue. Don't drop anything on your own. When the right time comes, it will be automatically dropped. And that time you will not have guilt in your mind. Oh God, I have not done the puja. Now what will happen? To whom? To God or to you? See, friends, all this thing happens in our mind. And we should be able to recognize this, that this is the process that the mind is going through. See, in Tripura Rasya, initial story goes like this. Parshuramji has killed the Kshatriyas 21 times. 22nd time he came across Bhagwan Ram, and Bhagwan Ram defeated him. So when he got defeated, he became frustrated. When he became frustrated, he wanted to become a Babaji. So he went to the forest, Malaygiri mountain. And there he saw a great master relaxing and cheerfully lying down. In his presence, this disturbed person, Parshuramji, became absolutely quiet. Like in a magnetic field, if any iron piece goes, it is naturally attracted. In the same manner, in his presence, Parshuramji felt extremely good. So he said, hey, what happened? I was so disturbed. What happened? Then that Mahatma is told him, oh, this is called as Brahmananda. He said, no, you have to explain me properly. So the Mahatma said, you are intelligent. I am not. Go to intelligent Guru. And he is directed towards Dattatreya Bhagavan. Dattatreya Bhagavan sees from his questions, and in a fraction of second he tells, yes, you have to do sadhana. And what sadhana? You have to do upasana. So one stone is given, this is Devi, Tripura Devi, do this puja poti, and that person is kept busy. He continues that, for not for a day or two, but for 12 years. And after 12 years, he gets frustrated. Oh God, what I am doing here? Who is this God? Who is this Devi? Tripura Devi, Tripura Devi. Again he comes back to his Guru Dattatreya Bhagavan. He said, I think I have wasted 12 years. What is this Devi, Devi, Devi? Who is this? So Bhagavan Dattatreya says, no, you are not wasted. The fructification of upasana is inquiry. Now you want to know, who is this Devi? Before this you never wanted to know. You are busy only with your outer world or your own experiences. You wanted something. Now you don't want anything. You want to discover who is this Devi. Therefore, karma and upasana, they are the means wherein we become qualified to inquire as to who am I. That mind where the inquiry kindles, that mind is pure mind. And when the inquiry kindles, be attentive, complaints disappear. A scientist doesn't complain. He inquires, which leads to discovery. A scientist doesn't create anything, it discovers, scientific discovery. In the same manner, the inquiry begins. And in that inquiry, we start analyzing our own experiences. And then we come to know, like now today, the waters are absolutely stand still. See how beautiful is the reflection of all the trees around. The clouds are beautifully reflecting. Perfect. Because the waters are calm and quiet. Yesterday, when it was heavily raining, winds were blowing left and right, no reflection could be seen. Exactly. When the mind is full of worldly filth, worldly things, the mind is not capable of reflecting divinity. Then the mind is extremely disturbed on small issues. So two things, impurity of objectivity and disturbances of desires. When these two things continue to remain in our mind, that mind cannot reflect divinity. Therefore, sadhana begins by one's own inquiry that none of the worldly things have any value or importance. Second thing, we don't have to achieve or gain anything. When these two things are dropped from our head, then we are at peace. Then whatever we have studied, then it starts becoming obvious that the mind with the contents of objectivity is drifting away from consciousness. Mind minus objectivity is ready to merge in consciousness. Objectivity begins with thoughts. Thoughts begin with speech. So either we talk to someone or we talk to ourselves. So to arrest the mind from drifting away from its own source, initially we may chant Lord's name. After some time, the mind becomes sufficiently quiet. Then two things, Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, organs of knowledge and organs of action, they are to be quieted. The organs of action are speech, because all other organs are quiet. Only speech is there. So we stop talking to ourselves. So all the organs of action are now quieted. Then we listen to the silence. All other organs of perception were quiet, except the ears. When we take up listening to the silence, all the sense organs and organs of action, they are in a process of withdrawal. So the world is dropped, then the sense organs are dissolved in the mind. Initially, we stop talking to ourselves by the force of will, not through wisdom. And therefore, some chattering begins. So to keep the mind occupied by giving the mind a theme, what it is like being other than the body, and work on it. So body has a shape and a form. Other than the body means no shape, no form. So let us play. No shape, no form, like space. Forms and shapes are many, but a formless, shapeless space is one. So now our mind has expanded to the space, and as a result, the body is dropped. Now we have expanded to the size of the space, which supports everything but doesn't get disturbed by anything. So we experience everything: the sound, the air, the chair, everything is experienced. But it doesn't create an experiencer. Because we have taken the position of the space, there is no pressure anywhere inside the body. Many seekers suffer because of this. They go on imagining some point and become too much concentrating their prana in that spot. That is abnormality. the space, no tensions, no pressures. The mind is slowly giving up the shape of the body and the individuality is disappearing. So from this gross space came, we now come to the mind space. Like the gross world was the content of the gross space, similarly, thoughts are the content of the mind space. Therefore, like the gross space, mind space also is not touched by any thought, not influenced by any thought. Hence, there is a thought, but a thinker is not born. Like the waves on the ocean, but the ocean is not disturbed by the waves. Hence, there is no struggle or enmity to any thought. Therefore, there is total indifference towards all thoughts. So the gross body has disappeared and the experience of any thought is of no consequences. We are not doing anything. In the objects of experience and the experience, they have no influence on us. We cannot be experiencer. But we continue to be. is being कर्म में करने वाला महत्व का, भक्ति में जिसके लिए कर्म कर रहे हैं वो महत्व, उपासना में मैं महत्व का, मैं उपासना करता, भक्ति में जिसके लिए उपासना हो रही है उसके अनुग्रह से हो रही है। In karma, I is predominant. Devotion, the Lord is predominant. In upasana, I is important. In devotion, it is His grace that we are able to do anything. Thus, karma and upasana matures into removal of the I factor. When this I is removed to a great extent, then like the salt dog wanted to know the depth of the ocean, and she jumped and never came out. This seeker who has thus, through karma and upasana, made himself like the salt dog, jumps into the ocean of consciousness, never comes out. Eternal abidance in the Absolute leads to fulfillment in life. This is to be recognized. Then the meditation is meaningful. Take little deep breath. Observe how the mind is included in the body. Move the toes and the fingers and see how the concept that I am inside the body and the world is outside the body. But in fact, in and out is an illusion. Everything is in him. Like the space inside the body or inside the hall and outside the hall. In fact, the hall is in the space. In the same manner, in this infinite conscious blissful existence, everything is. Nothing is excluded, everything is included. This is our essential nature. Offer everything at the feet of the Lord. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.